They call me Vai. Who the hell are you?
The fight for Hawaii's future is getting messier, and Chief of War Episode 3 really turns up the heat. The prophecy of a united kingdom? Yeah, it's still out there, but getting to it is proving to be anything but straightforward. Kayana has been away from home for a whole year now, stuck on a ship with men who can't stand him, chasing one thing he's convinced could change everything: guns. Back on the islands, Kamehameha is slowly proving he's more than just muscle. He's showing the brains and patience of a true leader. And Kaumanu, she's caught in the middle of all this, with big ambitions, a prophecy hanging over her head, and a secret that could blow up her marriage before it even starts. But here's the thing. In this world, greed fuels decisions. Betrayal is always around the corner, and even the right move can cost you everything. Let's break down all the big moments, twists, and the ending that's got everyone talking. Kayana's year away from home. When we catch up with Kayana a year after the events of Episode 2, he's a man caught between worlds. Back then, he saved Captain John Mears from certain death, unknowingly earning the favor that would later keep him alive. Without that act, who knows if the crew of the Nootka would have bothered to haul him aboard after he dove into the Pacific to escape Kahekili's warriors. Life at sea hasn't been easy. Kayana has been surrounded by people who see him as lesser because of the color of his skin. But among the Nootka's crew, he's found an unlikely friend in Tony, a black former slave who knows exactly how corrosive the daily grind of racism can be. For Tony, Kayana's arrival meant he finally had an ally on this floating prison of prejudice, and Tony's taken it upon himself to teach Kayana a thing or two, including how to handle the white man's deadliest weapon, the musket. That training pays off. On the snowy slopes of Alaska, Kayana takes aim and drops a buck with steady hands. But Tony doesn't realize that Kayana's interest in these red mouth weapons goes far beyond curiosity.
You spend more time with these guns than you do with the crew.
The real reason Kayana wants guns. This obsession with firearms began when Kaumanu told him about their terrifying power, but instead of fearing them, Kayana saw potential. These could be the key to stopping Kahekili's ruthless expansion. Without Kayana's earlier support, Kahekili's war machine wouldn't have moved so easily. Now the only way to undo that mistake is to give Hawaii an edge that Kahekili's men can't match. When the Nootka docks in Zamboanga, the crew disperses in search of drinks and women. Kayana, he's got only one goal: guns. Strolling into a gunsmith's shop, he naively asks for an army's worth of muskets, which makes Tony laugh. But Tony also knows the truth. In the wrong hands, these weapons can destroy entire peoples. Kayana's not thinking about trade deals or wealth. His mission is deeply personal. He needs to arm himself against Kahekili's forces to right a wrong that still weighs on his conscience.
You said you would tell me of your travels.
Kaumanu's uncertain future. Back in Hawaii, time has moved strangely for Kaumanu. She hasn't found her place in the grand design yet. Her friendship with Kupuohi has grown, both women quietly supporting each other through loss and uncertainty. They converse using the few English words they've picked up from John Young, a British subject who has settled among the Hawaiians. John Young earns the respect of some, but not all. Moku, Kaumanu's father, is wary of Palaskins. He's seen what European volatility can bring, and he doesn't trust easily. Still, Moku has plans, big ones, for his daughter's future. Kamehameha's first steps toward leadership. We meet Kamehameha in a test of endurance, standing underwater, holding massive rocks until only he remains. That kind of strength doesn't go unnoticed, especially by his ailing uncle, King Kalaniʻopuʻu. The old king is wise and pragmatic, fully aware of the dangers both from within the islands and beyond. Kahekili's violent thirst for power shows no signs of stopping, and the Europeans are an even greater long-term threat. Kalaniʻopuʻu's illness makes succession a pressing issue. Moku believes Kamehameha should inherit the throne instead of the king's brother Keawa, who is too reckless to defend Hawaii effectively. Kamehameha proves himself thoughtful. He's already preparing for war, not just with warriors, but with stockpiles of food, learning from the disastrous shortage during the Battle of Kamakuhi. The prophecy and the marriage. For Moku, Kamehameha isn't just a capable leader, he's the prophesied king. Moku witnessed the night of Kamehameha's birth, marked by a brilliant star streaking across the sky. In Moku's eyes, his daughter Kaumanu is meant to be Kamehameha's equal and partner in fulfilling this destiny. Kaumanu has always believed in her own potential, but in a male-dominated world, she lacks the position to use it. With Kamehameha, she could wield influence and help shape Hawaii's future. Together, they could end the cycle of pointless wars. But there's a complication. Ever since the prophetess Taula told Kaumanu she would never bear a son, she's feared that marrying Kamehameha would lead to rejection. In her culture, a wife's worth is tied to producing an heir. Moku advises her to keep this truth to herself. Their union's purpose goes beyond producing a child. A Hawaiian stranger in Zamboanga. Meanwhile, Kayana's striking appearance in Zamboanga, the red cape, the tall hat, draws attention everywhere he goes. Some gawkers are harmless. Others, like a drunken man who calls him a peacock, aren't so lucky. Among the onlookers is Wain'i, or Vai, to the Europeans. She's Hawaiian too, but her ambitions have been shaped by the greed she's seen in colonial traders. She wants to return home, but she also sees in Kayana a ticket to profit. Her plan? Help Captain Mears harvest sandalwood from Hawaii in exchange for the guns Kayana so desperately wants. For Kayana, the deal is distasteful. Vai's motives are soaked in the same exploitation he despises, but her promise of weapons keeps him from walking away outright. Greed isn't just Vai's flaw, it's everywhere. Marley, one of the Nootka's crewmen, is plotting with Captain Metcalf to exploit Hawaii's resources. Marley's bigotry toward Tony and Kayana has been obvious from the start, but now it turns violent. When Tony overhears their scheme, Marley savagely beats him and sedates him. If Kayana doesn't intervene soon, Tony could be in serious danger.
You look like a fucking peacock. What the?
The ceremony under the moon of Mahealani. The episode's ending delivers a striking contrast. Violence and greed brewing in Zamboanga, and a sacred union unfolding in Hawaii. Under the full moon of Mahealani, Kamehameha and Kaumanu are wed in a ceremony steeped in tradition. The village witnesses the lifting of the kapu, the ancient code of conduct that has governed Hawaiian life for generations. The marriage is meant to produce an heir who will unite Hawaii and Maui, but the real power lies in what Moku foresaw. Kaumanu will help Kamehameha realize his full potential. As Regent Queen, she will one day dismantle the kapu system itself, reshaping the islands in ways no one yet imagines. Episode 3's bigger picture. What makes this episode powerful is how it weaves together personal ambition, cultural prophecy, and the corrosive pull of colonial greed. Kayana is driven by redemption and the belief that new weapons can change the balance of power back home. Kamehameha is slowly emerging as the leader Hawaii needs, strategic, measured, and already preparing for the wars ahead. Kaumanu is stepping into a destiny that will challenge both tradition and expectation. But for every step forward, there's a shadow, greed, betrayal, and the creeping influence of foreign powers.
Get your guns.
Where this leaves us. By the time the credits roll, 3 major threads are in motion. Kayana's dilemma. He wants guns to defend his people, but to get them, he might have to sell out Hawaii's resources to people like Mears and Vai. Tony's fate. Marley's attack leaves Tony in grave danger. Saving him might derail Kayana's plans, or force his hand. The royal union, Kamehameha and Kaumanu's marriage, seals a political alliance and sets the prophecy into motion. But secrets about Kaumanu's ability to bear children could eventually resurface. Episode 3 leaves us in that perfect storm of tension. The feeling that all the pieces are moving, but none of them are guaranteed to land where anyone expects. The prophecy is alive, but so are greed, war, and betrayal.
Warrior people with no fear of musket and cannon. As of yet.
Our nerdy thoughts. If you think the drama's intense now, remember, the real test for all of them is still ahead. Kayana's return home will bring him face to face with the very man he's arming himself to fight. Kamehameha's claim to the throne will draw enemies from within his own bloodline, and Kaumanu's rise to power will demand that she outwit a system designed to keep her silent. In Chief of War, destiny isn't a straight path, it's a battlefield. And after episode 3, it's clear that every character is about to step deeper into the fight.